Okay, we are starting with a live online webinar for Core Java with Multisoft Virtual Academy. Thank you all for your patience. And now we are just starting with the live online webinar. Who is the subject matter expert for Core Java with Multisoft Virtual Academy. Briefing about Multisoft Virtual Academy. It excels in the domain of instructor-led live online training at your place, your pace, your time. This is a method of learning which involves no more traveling or change in your busy schedule. You can upgrade your skills at ease with live real-time training experience, wherein you get to interact with the trainer and resolve your queries instantly. The knowledge sharing is direct and effective. In this free webinar, there will be a live chat session wherein you will be able to connect with domain experts and get to know about the latest industry standards. This free live online webinar will expose you to the wide spectrum of programming and development techniques with Core Java, which will involve the Java 8 certification exam preparation training. This live online webinar will be hosted by Mr. Anuj Kumar, who is a competent professional and expert in programming domain. Mr. Anuj Kumar has over 8 years of professional experience in Java development and training. He has worked across different sectors and domains, handling variegated projects. An Oracle certified Java professional, Mr. Anuj Kumar has in-depth knowledge of program conceptualization to execution and is a keen trainer who knows how to install the fundamental knowledge and concepts in a learner. Reading about the topics and agenda of this live online webinar. This will include Introduction to Core Java, Java 8 programming features, what is new in Java 8, lambda expression, interface implementation, collections, and new data type. I hope you all will enjoy this live online webinar of Core Java with Multisoft Virtual Academy and our facilitator, Mr. Anuj Kumar. This live online webinar is an initiative which is taken up by us to show you how the actual live online training will happen with us. After your session, you will also get the recording of this live online webinar in another 48 to 72 hours. Also, you can get back to us on our email ID for any questions with regards to the training. Our email ID is info@multisoftvirtualacademy.com. You can also get back to us to our 24/7 available numbers, that is +91 8130 at +91 8130 66209. We are happy to serve you. Thank you so much for your patience. I shall now hand over to Mr. Anuj Kumar, who shall be taking up your live online webinar for Core Java with Multisoft Virtual Academy. Thank you so much. Enjoy the session.
Hello everyone, this is Anuj. So I'll be taking your webinar for today. So today we'll be discussing, as Diwali mentioned here, that we will be discussing today about the Java new features available in Java 8. Okay, so as we'll start with what were the new things and what the new big changes were in the Java. If we we'll talk about the versions, different versions of Java. First of all, the Java version 1, the first version of Java came, and then after, if you will see, there were little bit changes, and in 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then major changes were there in the Java 5, and then after the major change came in Java 8. 5, if you talk about, some of the feature like generics, like enum, where the very important part of the Java 5 introduction over there. In Java 8, what actually the new thing is there, and what the biggest thing is there that we can say here? The biggest thing, the biggest change in Java 8 was that a lambda expression. So actually, what is actually lambda expression, and what is the benefit of it? So if we'll talk about what is the use of lambda expression, what the lambda expression is actually, lambda expression is simply, we can say this is an anonymous method. Before we were only aware of the thing that lambda expression, before we were just aware about the the anonymous classes, but now their Java 8 is introduced, we can say with the lambda expression, anonymous method. For the benefits of it, as you can see here in the PPT, I mentioned that while when we are using lambda expression, even we can overcome, basically this was introduced to overcome the anonymous class and replace, you can say, the anonymous implementation for the functional interfaces. For example, if we talk about here, then I will give you one small example, like how anonymous interface can be removed. Sorry, an interface, the functional interface can be replaced with a lambda expression. Here, one example, if you are seeing, there is, in multi-threading, we have a runnable interface, which is a functional interface and has one method named run. So we can see if we want to, if we want here for multi-threading programming, how can we program that? Let us see once. So if I'm going to make a thread here, I'll have a runnable. Suppose I'm going to write R, and now I'm going to implement runnable interface. And you can see here we have a method named run. What we need to do for coding the previously what we were doing for, we were overriding here run method. Suppose the write some means. I'm going to pass here the reference of R and then period start. Let us execute and see output from run method here is the output. Now if I want to replace this particular row with the lambda expression, see how the lambda expression is being replaced with the expression here in this part. Simply what we are doing, just replacing whole complete this interface implementation of runnable with just runnable art here to this way. For example, see, in place of this, I'm going to remove all these from here, and I will put simply so here you can see just we are going to have we are what actually what if we talk about here, take something, I think. Oh, fine, thank you. Just right here, and oh, fine. So you can see here, now we'll talk about where's the body then. As we see here, here is just whatever the parameter that is the method is going to take, but run method is not going to take any parameter. So just we have here opening and closing braces. and this is actually the method body here. So complete here runnable interface is being removed, and still it will have the same output as previous. So you can see here from run method. So completely here the runnable interface is going to remove this particular whole matter from here. So this is a simple example you can say. So let us come to the again PPT view of its point. So here, if we say we have seen the particular, there's no need to declare the type of the parameters. Compiler can implicitly decide the type from the value of the parameter. That this particular point we will be discussing. There's no need. There's no need to use parentheses for single parameter if we are using the multiple parameters. Then it should be enclosed with the parenthesis. And one more point is, if the lambda expression body contains a single statement, then there is no need to use the curly braces. So third, actually in this example, what right now I have shown you with the here, in this we can see I'm not using any parenthesis for this. It is being directly used because we have just only single statement here, so we do not need any parenthesis for this particular body. That's actually third point stage here. If the lambda expression body contains a single statement, then there is no need to use the curly braces for the statement block. It is if it is required if there is more than one statement in the block. So now still we need to have to discuss here. There's no need to declare the type parameter. Compiler can implicitly at this point. That we will discuss right here with one example. So I'm going to remove this example for list here of integer. I need to import this one list here of total, and then we have as list class and as list. Here I'm going to pass some value this way. Now if I want to print this value, so how we can print this? The normal way how we were printing, iterating this value, where we can say for int I is equal to 0, I less than values dot, you can say size, and I plus, and simply system dot out dot print album, but it's printed in new line, and I'm going to print here values dot an index. So this was thing what we were doing previously. Another way we can say is there with a for each loop uh, int x and their values, same thing here, and just we can write here x. So one of the ways is this here. Now we can just, I'm going to still, we are here, these are all the old things how we're going to iterate this particular list. We have one extra method introduced in iterable interface uh, that we have values for each method. We can say that we would have got the so Now here, the for each, I have even removed all those things from the lambda expression even, and here just I'm going to write system.out colon colon here this double colon, and then after println, this is also going to do the same job. See how each new features has introduced for us to iterate with the using internal iterator, that is for each, and how easily your list is going to be iterated. Those lengthy codes, those where that get the first the object of iterator, and then get a while loop, and then I check the has next value, and then print the next value. Or by using the for each loop, we were iterating one by one again and again and again and again. We are even declaring an extra integer variable over there. And also you know that if you are going to declare an extra variable, that's take a memory and even time consuming will be there. So you can see how beautiful this lengthy code is removed just by a single line. If you're going to print all the value from that for each loop. Is it clear? Hope it would be clear to you all. Do we have any question on this particular point? Question. Okay, good. So one more thing about the lambda expression that I wanted to discuss with you all. Uh, Before that, let me discuss about uh, the different side topic here, that default methods. So if I'm going to if here, if you see, suppose the interfaces were made prox right now, if suppose 5 years before some interfaces were developed, and after 20 years we require to add some new methods inside that. So will it be possible as per Java 7 or Java 6 interfaces? If we talk about Java 6 or 7 interfaces, we know that the methods inside interfaces do not have any body, means do not have any implementation. So if they do not have any implementation, and any of the classes going to inherit that, implement that particular interface, then in that case it has to cite that interface. Suppose 5 years back, when was take the list itself, if list was there, an interface available of 5 years before, and because and now I want to introduce some extra method with that, because list is an interface which has implemented by lots of classes. If I'm going to introduce any new method inside that list interface, then what it will do is going to create a error for which has already implemented this interface, because that is those classes have not yet overridden the new method in the list interface. So the Java 8 has brought a new beautiful concept, that is a default method. As we know that in Java 8 we have lots of interfaces, and Java 8 was itself, the Oracle company was now getting problem with the overhead of the interface, because they need to introduce a new method, then they had to create a new interface in that case. But now they do not need to create a new interface. They can add a new method in the previously already available interfaces, and how they can do that can be done by giving a default implementation. Let us see one here. I'm going to declare an interface. Uh, Hello. Let me have an interface television. Suppose if we talk about a 10-year backs, for 10-year backs, the television have very limited functionality. For example, Wi-Fi was not there, SD channels were not there with that. We cannot connect with the VCR or something, DVD players, we cannot connect, we cannot have the pen drive with that. So simple functionalities that have, for example, public owned, public void, display. So these were few functionality you can say. So if I'm going to uh, make a class old television, old, or I'm going to write just TV, going to implement television. So what we need to do, we need to override both the methods for the available here. Right now just I'm going to route this out just sound, and this just right play. Simply this. Now if suppose currently if the television is now the television have very much now advanced television has come in the market and they have the different functionalities, and if I want to access those, so what I will do here, I will put a new method here. For example, void Wi-Fi close. And as soon as I included a method here, I class got use that one. This is a problem. So what Java 8 resolved by making if error. And now I'm going to create another class smart vision smart TV say, and this is also going to implement same interface. So this two functionality will already will have in this, and one other functionality also we can easily accommodate in this public void Wi-Fi. And we can provide our implementation according to our requirement. By enabled post, this is the thing. So you can see here. So Now if we talk about a question arises here, now then what is the difference between abstract class and interface then? Because abstract class was but also same properties as here interface is there, because you can see the interface is also having a default and non-default methods. Means abstract as well as non-abstract method. This will be non-abstract, and these both are the abstract, because by default in interface all methods are abstract. So these are, now you can say, are the abstract methods. The two methods are abstract and this is non-abstract. So as I told that why there was a need to introduce this, because now in previous already implemented interface, already available interface, they can introduce a new method. But the Java, as we know that the Java has facility to implement more than one interface in a single class. So in that case, suppose we have two interface, television 1, suppose I just wrote here, let remote control. So remote control has some method like you can see forward, and this is also going to implement one remote control, and we need to override this particular method also here. Move is forwarded. So in this way, we have a just forward method, and we implemented that one particular in that. But suppose our particular remote control also has one default method here, and that is Wi-Fi. Now here you can see, as soon as I put a remote default method here in the remote control, I generated a compile jump error. So how to resolve this one? Because here rule comes from here that if default method in an interface, then there is no need to override that particular default method in the implementing class. But when the implementing class is implementing more than one interface and they have a common method in both, then in that case, common default method, then in that case, the child class has to override that particular default method. So in this way here, you need to override that particular default method and this. And as soon as you will override this particular default, it will work for us. So Java interfaces are still working as before, because before also what we were doing, they were having only abstract methods, so that particular method need to be implemented in the child class. Here also we are implementing just Wi-Fi, but this is only implemented, this is only forced to be implemented when there are the child class which is going to implement more than one interface, and more than one interface has a common default method. Then in that case, the implementing class has that particular method. So in this way, they introduce a default method inside Java 8, and this is the beautifulness. Because of this, as you can see that here in Java 8, my previous example, I had used a for each method with the list. As you know that there were no for each method available in the list before, but this was actually introduced in iterable using command line out dot lang, sorry, java dot util dot iterable. Not it, but this spelling mistake there. Grape in here, that is the util iterator. Iterable is actually java dot lang, java p, java dot lang dot grape. So here we have a iterator interface, and now if I'm going to in a java p, java dot util dot iter path. Oh, this is of JDK 7 actually. That is why I'm going to state the path of it path. I have my Java in program file, Java JDK 8 bean. Then I will take in this particular operator, and here you can see in the particular before we were saying here that in iterator we were having a method iterate boolean has next and remove. Here you can see we have next and more in for each remaining and it's going to take a consumer as a parameter. Let us see the iterable. So in iterable, here you can see the for each is added, and this is going to take an argument of consumer. This particular Java util function dot consumer interface is available there, and it's going to take the argument of that. That is why I had just made the consumer and its method accept was there, and I had overridden that particular accept in that way. Let's hope so. It is understood to you all. This is the thing. More details, more things are there in to understand the Java particular this lambda expression. Let me show you one more beautiful example with this lambda expression, and delete this because now I do not require all these. Suppose there is a list here as we have, and now I want to count complete number. I want to add all these, whatever the values are there in the list. So just we need to, suppose I'm going to make a method, simple method, what we have here is public int and simply public void add all number. And suppose this is going to take argument over there of a list, integer values. So what we need to do, simply we will declare variable total equal to 0. We will have a for each loop that is going to iterate now column values, and this is going to add total plus equal to val. So this is just going to add all these values. Now suppose it's a Friday evening and you are in a hurry and your friend came and told you that please friend write a method for me that uh, adds all the numbers inside a list. And what you did, you were in a hurry and you wrote this one. Now your friend told, oh friend, I need one more method that can add all the even number which are in the list. So what you are going to do now? What you will do, just you will see that, oh, this method is something looking like that. So what I should do, I should copy this one and paste. I will just change the method name, all open, and here just I will make a check inside here if val modulus 2 double equal to 0. So if this is, then this is going to add. So this is what you can do, and just you can call, suppose first adding all number, going to create a object of this, is new graph, and just t dot add all number, and I was going to take value from you, that values in this way, and it will print for us. Oh, right, this one side, right? Will return suppose an int value. This is going to return value, return total from there. Same line of code I'm right here, going right side this out. Simply I will print all the values. See? Now if I want to print this, so that one, what should I do? I will use add all even number, and this is going to same, and this is going to print another. Now time your friend came and told you that please write one more method for me which checks are all odd number at now time. If you are going and copying and pasting again the same line of code, this is called a criminal activity in Java programming. You can say in this developer line, because this is not acceptable that you are going and pasting same line of code again and again, and that is not a good thing. Just still made it this way. How odd, and just you wrote here nothing, and you're going to add that in this. Now what I want to do, that I want to remove this. I don't want that. I want that this particular single method should work for all. So there is an interface. We have a predicate. We can take any functional interface actually here, but predicate is provided by Java already. So I will be taking the same that the integer. Just I'm going to be a method add all. Predicate method here has a method named something wrong. Oh, one variable I have to give here. So taste. Now I'm going to write just taste dot taste val. And simply just passing this. Going to delete all from here. I want to put just a single method. As I wrote there, this one more error occurred here. So what I to do, because it is taking a argument of predicate. Right now I'm going to just call this and going to call a method call. This is going to take a predicate method. So what I will do, new predicate of integer type, take a method, and simply what I will do here is now I will return, this returns a boolean value. So what I'm going to do here, if t mod q equal to 0, turn false. So in this way, let us see that this is working for us or not. 24. So it is working here. As a similar pattern if you want for all, then again I have to copy and paste the same thing. This is again wrong. So what now I'm going to do, I'm going to remove this particular with a lambda expression. So what I need to do is that I should delete this one. I should delete this event. I will put here, and then this is also not required for us. And since this is going to have take multiple uh, in here, just we will take their values, the t mod 2 double equal 0. So variable t is already defined, so I need to change this other value. This is the thing how it is now. Let's see. So it is. You can see here that simply what I'm going to do now. We do not require even this one. We do not require even this one. The simple line of code is here, and we are going to print this way. Now, if your friend has, as your friend, you all add all the number. Simply what he needs to do, he will all odd number. Just he want to do not, and this will print all odd number. If he wants again, get no print, add all the numbers available inside that, then in that case, just you need to here just pass through, but it will in every case it will have the true, and it will print all. So in this way, see how easily just with a single method here we have by using the lambda expression, we just resolved a different on different condition, different output being coming here. So this is just anonymous method that you have declared here, and so easily just duplicate the code duplication you have remove the things. This is from these are the from lambda side actually. Actually we are a bit time is running late actually, so I will just as we know that the date and time API here in Java introduced a new date and time API because as we have seen before previously in Java 7 or below that, the date and time API, all the date and time API were mutable, means if we can change the value for means those date time were mutability were there, but here in Java 8 they have introduced a new date and time API, and all the classes available in that are immutable in that. Plus there is separation concern as before we will have limited date and time classes over there, but in Java 8 provided us a different date and time classes. For example, we have a local date, local time. So in this way, according to time zone, we have a different classes in Java. So easily we can code our program with it if you are going to use a date and time API. Due to that, clarity is also there because the methods are clearly defined and performs the same action in all classes. For example, to get the current instance, we have a now method. There are format and parse methods defined in all the classes rather than having a separate class for them. All the classes uses factory pattern and strategy pattern for better handling. Once you have used the method in one of the class, working with the other classes won't be hard for you. There's utility operations. All the new date and time classes comes with the method to perform common tasks such as plus, minus, format, passing, getting, separate part in the date and time, etc. So the utility operations, they're extendable. The new date time API works on iOS 860 on calendar system, but we can use it with the other non-iOS calendar as well. Here we will discuss the date and time package. This is the base package. New major base classes are this package, such as local date, local time, local date and time, instant, period, duration, etc. All these classes are mutable and thread safe. Most of the time, these classes will be sufficient for handling common requirements. We have a chrono package. This package defines generic API for non-ISO calendar system when we can extend abstract chronology classes create and now own calendar systems. These are the things actually here. We have a time format package. Let me first discuss with us Java time package here. We have already developed a program for this. to understand is, suppose we have a local date. Just if you want to print a local date, here we have a class local date in date and time API. You can import just java.time.local date. What is the benefit of it? Local date has just a now method which will give you the current date and time. If you want the date and time of a particular day, then you can pass here this as year, month, and date. Of that particular date, the date and date will be created. Date and local date instance will be created for you. And this you can see. If we're going to provide an invalid input for this, for example, here you can see, right now I'm going to remove the below of here. Just I'm going to create this one. Just so you can say here that we have a default for simply current date today. So current date today, it is 1 minute. The main method here directly just here. See, we have a current date. This one is 17th of September 2016. Specific date as we have given here, that's for a specific date. But now if you want, if we're going to put some illegal argument here, suppose 32. 32 is not found in any of the month. In month of January, we have only till 31st. So 32nd is here. I'm going to pass a illegal argument. This will generate a date and time exception for us. So you can see here, it will create a exception for us. That is date and time exception. So if we're going to pass any invalid for a date and time exception. Next, you can see here, according to June ID, you can pass even, as I showed, it is a local date and this is customizable, and you can get the date of any particular time zone. So it has the value time zone. There is June ID, one class is there, and that takes the string value and that takes a name of the zone. So here I'm going to pass Asia Kolkata. So there's Asia Kolkata, right? What time? 7 p.m. It will give you the 7 p.m. Sorry, it's a date, so it won't give you the 7 p.m. right now because it will give a date. So here, date IST is 17th of September 2016. So this is how it happened. If I'm going to use a local date and time, then in that case, it will give a time also for us according to this. Here is epoch day 365. What it does actually, it from the starting date. The start date is first Jan 1970. As we know, then in Java, the time the default time, what the start time is there that they have given, that is 1st Jan 1970. So it will add up 365 in that, and it will just print 1971. So you can see here, 365th day from base date is 1971. That is 1st Jan 1971. So this one is there. Now, if you want that year of day, so if you say in 2014, what the 100th day in that? So that will be printed here. The 100th day of 2015 is this particular 10th of April. So in this way, this date and time, different date and time API works here. So I'm going to use date and time API. This is for the local date. Now I'm going to use local date and time. So local date and time, I have one class here for that also. You see, where's that? Local time exception here. So local time example. So look, we have a local date, local time. So there is a local time. In the same fashion that is local time, that will give a local time. Right now, what the time is that one will give. It will pick a default zone ID with the system, and accordingly that will print the system for the time is there. Next is there specific time. If you can pass hour, minute, second, and milliseconds, and according it will print. Again here, if you are going to pass a illegal argument, then it will give you a date and time exception. Here again we have Asia Kolkata. That in that case it will give a right now I have a 7:02 p.m. And see here it will give you a 7:02 p.m. Specific date is there. Current IST. This oh sorry again made a mistake here. Just I use a local time example and it will give you them out. Now you can say it's 9:03. So introvert that one. Current time as local time. So it is not printed. Local time example for test. Oh sorry. Test stand is there. One more method change to local time. So you can see here it's 7:03 and here it is there IST. It is 7:03 means 19:03 because it is taking 24-hour clock. So in this it is going. So this is simple. You can say we have local date and time classes. We have again local date and time. If you want the dates to come in timestamp, then in that case you can take local date and time class. Local date and time class will provide you the date and time both that case. Local date and time. So in this way, this is going to print a local date and time for you. So is it fine? So in this way, this is the thing. If you so these are few APIs you can say local date, local time, and all those. So you can study of your own right now. For more details, we will be starting more in. You need to be studying more in details about this, and you can see here how beautiful this new feature data and time API has taken here for us. So do you have any doubt here till this part? If anyone may ask, I think so. We do not have any question from anyone. Okay, it's okay. It seems there's no question. So fine. Just now, I'm going to hand over to Shivali. They will be taking over further. Thank you.
Thank you everyone for attending this live online session web with the Multisoft Virtual Academy. I hope you all look forward for part that we will be having very soon. You shall be getting the recorded session of this webinar in the 48 to 72 hours, and also we have our batches of instructor-led live online training on Saturdays and Sundays. Weekdays batches are also available. In case of any query or any doubt, you can always get back to us on our email IDs, that is info@multisoftvirtualacademy.com. We are also available on our 24/7 available numbers, that is +91 8130 66206 or +91 8130 66209. I hope you all enjoyed the session, and we look forward for your participation in our live online training program. Thank you so much and have a great day ahead. Thank you.